friends, welcome to Learning is Fun with Us. So today we are going to see the lesson tissues. Let me start it. All living organisms are made up of cells. Unicellular organisms perform all the functions such as digestion, respiration, excretion, reproduction, etc. by a single cell. Example, amoeba. However, multicellular organisms have several cells which are grouped together, and these cells are specialized to carry out different functions. Tissues are group of cells that are similar in structure and work together to achieve a particular function. Example, blood, phloem and muscles. Tissues are classified into plant and animal tissue. On the basics of dividing capacity, plant tissues can be classified into two fundamental types, that is meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Now let us see plant tissues. Plant tissues are of two types. There are meristematic and permanent tissue. Meristematic cells are capable of division, and in permanent tissue, mature cells are not capable of division. Meristematic tissues are of three types: apical, intercalary and lateral tissue. And then permanent is of two types: simple and compound. Simple is of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. These definitions I will be telling in this or in the next video. And then compound is of two types: xylem or phloem. As compound we can tell also like complex. The growth of plants occurs only in certain specific regions. The dividing tissue, also known as meristematic tissue. As the pictures of meristem is on the screen, just have a look at it. As here is apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem pictures on the screen. Now let's see apical meristem. These are present at growing tips of stem and roots, thus are helpful in increasing the length of the stems and the roots. Now it's of intercalary meristem. These are present at the base of the leaves or internodes on either side of node of twigs. It helps in longitudinal growth, elongation of plants. Now it's of lateral meristem, cadmium. These are present on the lateral sides of stem and roots. It helps in increasing the girth of stem or root. Now let's see permanent tissues. The first type is of simple permanent tissues, as it has like three types. They are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Now let us see about parenchyma. So a few layers of cells from the basic packing tissue. This tissue is parenchyma, a type of permanent tissue. These are present in cortex and pitch of stem and root, and also in mesophyll of leaves. Now let us see the characteristics of parenchyma. These are simple living cells with little specialization of thin wall. And the second point is cell are usually loosely packed with large spaces between cells. And the functions of parenchyma is it serves as food storage tissue. This tissue provides support to plants. When the parenchyma cell contains chlorophyll in some situation, it performs photosynthesis. Such type parenchyma tissue is called collenchyma. In aquatic plants, large air cavities are present in parenchyma cells in order to give buoyancy to plant with help them to float. Such type of parenchyma tissue is called aerenchyma. Parenchyma of stems and roots also stores nutrients and water. Now let us see about the collenchyma. These tissues are generally found in leaf stalks below epidermis and leaf mid-ribs. Characteristics of collenchyma are as given below. Cells are living, elongated, and irregularly thicknessed at the corners. They have very little intercellular spaces. Functions of collenchyma are as follows. It provides mechanical support and elasticity, flexibility to plants. It also allows easily blending in various parts of a plant, leaf and stem without breaking. Now let us see about sclerenchyma. This type of tissue is present in stems around vascular bundles in the veins of leaves and in the hard working of seeds and nuts. Characteristics of sclerenchyma. The cells of scalenarious tissue are dead. The cells are long and narrow in appearance. Cell walls are thicknessed due to the lignin, a chemical substance deposition which acts as the element and hardness them. Due to the presence of thick walls, there are no internal spaces between them. Functions of sclerenchyma. It is known to be the chief mechanical tissue which makes plant hard and stiff. Example, husk of coconut is made up of sclerematous tissue. It forms protective covering around seeds and nuts. It gives rigidity, flexibility and elastic to the plant body. As of now, we can move on to the complex permanent tissue. And the complex permanent tissue has two types. They are xylem and phloem. So we can start with the xylem. The cells of xylem have thick walls and many of them are dead. It is responsible for the transport of water and minerals from roots to other parts of the plant. Xylem consists of various types of elements which are as follows. They are of four types, like first one is tracheids. These are dead long tubular structures with tapering ends. They transport water and minerals vertically. And next one is vessels, long tube-like structures formed by a row of cells placed end to end. These are also dead cells with lignified walls. They also help in conduction of water. The next one is xylem parenchyma. These are only living cells of xylem with thin cell walls. It stores food and helps in sideways conduction of water. And the last one of the xylem is xylem fibers. They are elongated dead cells with tapering ends and thick cell walls. These are fibers associated with xylem and supportive in functioning of xylem. Now let's move on to the phloem. It transports food from leaves to other parts of the plant. Materials can move in both direction and at all phloem cells are living except phloem fibers. Phloem is made up of only four types of elements. The first one is sieve tubes. These are tubular cells with perfected walls. They have thin layer of cytoplasm. B. Companion cells. These are some small elongated cells having thin walls which are not performed. And the C is phloem fibers. They provide mechanical strength to the tissue. The last one is phloem parenchyma. They help in storage and slow lateral conduction of food. So guys, the animal tissue will be in the next session. Once it's done, the link will be in the description. Thank you for watching my video, guys. We'll meet you shortly in the next session. That's the part 2 of this chapter.